In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a thread chain. A thread chain is a chain of thread loops made by essentially crocheting thread with your hands, as you can see right here. It's often used in places where you want to anchor two garment points together, but you still need to allow for movement of the two fabric layers. In this example, we'll be using a thread chain to bring the underarm points of the coat and lining, so the coat and the lining. We'll bring them together, which prevents slipping into or out of the armhole when you're putting on and taking off your coat. So the lining will stay in place because it can only move as far as the thread chain will allow. So now I'm going to show you how it's done. To make your thread loop, begin by arranging your two pieces of fabric that you're going to be chaining together. So here's the underarm of the lining and the underarm of the coat. Then you're going to take a length of thread and a needle, thread the needle, and then you're going to tie a knot in the end of the thread. And that way you're working with two lengths of thread through the needle instead of just one. So tie that off. We're going to snip the extra off. Then bring the needle up through the underarm point. So you want the knot to end up under the seam. You're going to just stitch in place once, which creates this loop here. What you're going to do now is essentially crochet with the thread. So you're going to do that again. So you have this loop, you're going to pass this through, and you're going to pull it tight. Pass it through, pull it tight, pass it through, pull it tight, and you're going to just keep doing that over and over until you get about an inch, maybe 1.5 inches, whatever you feel comfortable with. But if you know how to crochet, this is basically the same, but with your hands. Again, loop, grab it, pull it through, pull it tight. It looks like we've got about enough. So what you're going to do now is just put the needle through, and you'll pull that tight, which will end the chain. Go over to your underarm seam, do a little stitch so that they're joined, and then you're going to need to tie a little knot. I like to bury my thread under the seam allowance, even though nobody will ever see it once your coat is sealed up. But in non-coat situations, you have the potential to see it. So bury that under there. Cut off your excess. And now the two layers are stuck together, and they won't slide around inside your coat when you're putting it on and off. So that is how you make a thread chain.